Welcome to our documentary about the history of magic in Europe, as we embark on this enlightening voyage through time, tracing the roots of the mystical arts. Let's start at the very beginning of human civilization. During these early times, spiritual processes were helmed by practitioners known as shamans. But who are these early European shamans? And in what way they are different from later mystical practitioners? The early shamans were spiritual guides who intuitively connected to the essences and forces of nature. They acted as agents, linking humans with the spiritual realm. In the early societies, life was profoundly intertwined with nature, and shamans, like the Celtic Druids and the Germanic seers of ancient Europe, played pivotal roles. They were esteemed healers and fortune-tellers who wisely wielded magic in their endeavors. They practiced divination, herbal rituals, and summoned spirits to safeguard their people's well-being. Magic, often coupled with medicinal herbs, was a tool for revealing a fascinating blend of science and mystery in the healing process. Shamans also used magic to reveal hidden truths and foretell the future. Much like the Celtic Druids interpreting nature's signs and dreams for predictions, shamans aimed to tune into the universe's patterns rather than control fate. They possessed a unique ability to directly connect with the spiritual essences of nature, enabling intuitive magical work. Their powers came from natural intuitive connections. They were able to see and hear the spirits of nature, without the need for complex rituals or esoteric knowledge for their works. Whether through Celtic divination rituals or Germanic seers' spirit communication, these practices sought to protect communities from natural disasters, rival groups, or harmful spirits. This interplay of magic and daily life underlines our universal desire for safety and longing to understand our existence. From the onset, magic was an essential aspect of life, deeply entwined with the evolution of humanity and societal norms. It offered solutions to everyday problems and continues to charm us with its intrigue and enchantment. Now join us as we're moving to our next chapter in history, the classic era of ancient Greece and Rome. As ancient societies evolved, so did their utilization and comprehension of magic. The classical antiquity period serves as a prime example of this, with Greek and Roman traditions heavily shaping the perception and application of magic. The Greeks and Romans integrated magic into their everyday lives, extending its influence into medicine, religious practices, and even politics. The Oracle of Delphi, a religious sanctuary, used magic to prophesize, having significantly impacted Greek history and culture. Likewise, the use of magical and incantations was also commonplace, providing individuals with a palpable connection to the supernatural. The populace regarded such practices not merely as mystical rites, but as essential tools to navigate the uncertainties of life. A notable record of these magical practices is the Greek magical papyri. This collection of texts dates from the 2nd century BC to the 5th century AD, and can be likened to an ancient magic manual, outlining spells, rituals, and prayers. The papyri, an amalgamation of Greek, Egyptian, and Jewish influences, reflect the rich cultural diversity of the Mediterranean region. A variety of magical practices, including love spells, exorcisms, and dream interpretations. However, the Greeks and Romans were not content with merely using magic. They too comprehend it in its entirety. They started to observe magic through a philosophical lens. Eminent philosophers like Plotinus and Iamblichus engaged in profound contemplation about the essence of magic, its link to the divine, and its role in the natural world. They also scrutinized the ethics surrounding magic, questioning whether it was inherently good or deceptive. This intellectual curiosity about magic marked the beginning of true esoteric study in human history. Thus, during the Greco-Roman era, magic underwent a transformation in public perception. It transitioned from being viewed as a mere practical tool to be a revered aspect of cultural, intellectual, and political life. Now, as we leave this compelling period of magic's evolution behind, we're moving to our next chapter in history, the age of Christianity. With the advent of early Christianity, the fabric of magic underwent a significant transformation across Europe. The Church, holding the reins of religious fervor during the Middle Ages, strived relentlessly to quash practices shrouded in mystery. This was often seen as an attempt by the institution to usurp the control over supernatural abilities. The Church guarded this arcane knowledge fervently, erecting barriers to prevent the masses from meddling with it. It was a unique moment in human history where an embargo on magic was forcefully implemented, causing a regression in mankind's spiritual evolution and capabilities. However, ancient mystical traditions were not entirely extinguished. They subtly managed with the freshly established religious norms, leading to a captivating fusion of the old and the new, a cocktail of faith, suspicion, and practical magic. Yet, the Church's ascendance had a profound impact on these practices, but it couldn't entirely eradicate them. Ancient rituals and shamanistic traditions were restructured and woven into the Christian narrative. These rituals, once performed to propitiate the gods and ward off evil spirits, were now carried out under the vigilant eyes of Christian saints and angels. Sought solace, prophecies, and protection through these hybrid practices. This period of religious and magical interaction was not without its conflicts. The Church's relationship with magic was far from peaceful. As Christianity flourished, esoteric knowledge and branded as heresy and witchcraft. This led to the infamous witch hunts across Europe during the medieval period. An example of this is the notorious trials of the Pendle witches in 1612 in Lancashire, England. 12 individuals were accused and tried for causing harm through witchcraft, with 10 ultimately executed. Despite these grim events, the Church continued to work tirelessly to uphold the sanctity of its teachings, all the while battling the appeal of mystical beliefs among its followers. This sparked a gripping power struggle with faction vying for dominance. Interestingly, while many magical customs were denounced, certain time-honored teachings escaped the crackdown. Specifically, the mystical Jewish teachings of Kabbalah, which served as the bedrock for much of the later Christian magic. A notable during was the creation of grimoires, magical manuals providing guidance on diverse subjects, from summoning spirits to discovering hidden treasures. Authored often by the clergy themselves, these books vividly portrayed the intricate relationship between Christianity and magic, projecting a reality where the sacred and the supernatural were interwoven into the fabric of everyday life. For the medieval Church and its followers, magic was not a forbidden practice, but an integral facet of their spiritual life. Magic provided an avenue to comprehend the world, to exert control over the unpredictable, and most importantly, to commune with the divine. Thus, during this epoch, magic and religion cohabited, albeit awkwardly, in a complex tapestry of faith and superstition. And with that, we draw the veil on this stirring period of history. The Middle Ages, with its unique blend of religion and magic, passes into the annals of time. Now, we venture into a new chapter in history, the dawn of the Enlightenment, an era where reason and empiricism sought to unravel the mysteries of the universe. Prepare yourself for a journey into an age of discovery, skepticism, and scientific revolution. The Renaissance period in Europe's history, an epoch of intellectual expansion and cultural blooming, ignited a resurgence in the exploration of ancient mystical traditions. This period of profound transformation, spanning the 14th to the 17th centuries, heralded a shift from the Middle Ages' religious and superstition-driven worldviews towards a quest to unravel the enigmatic workings of the universe. The Renaissance brought a new perspective to magic, perceiving it not as the exclusive domain of fortune-tellers or healers, but as a tool to seek knowledge, understand nature, and fathom the universe's mysteries. One significant development during this period was the strong establishment of Kabbalah studies in Europe, particularly among Jewish scholars in Spain and Italy. This ancient Jewish mystical tradition offered an alternative interpretation of the Bible. They considered the Bible to be a code in which each letter represents a number, turning the Bible to be an enigmatic matrix full of science and discovery, a key for the divine nature, and a complex manual for magic. Complementing Kabbalah was Hermeticism, a philosophical and religious system based on the writings attributed to the mythical figure Hermes Trismegistus. Known as the Hermetica, these works were believed to explain the secrets of the universe. The scholars of the Renaissance saw Hermeticism as a platform to synthesize pagan philosophy with Christian theology. Furthermore, they began integrating Kabbalistic principles into Hermetic philosophy, creating a unique blend that furthered the understanding of mysticism. Alchemy, often seen as a precursor modern chemistry, also had deep roots in both Hermeticism and Kabbalah. Alchemists, in their pursuit of the philosopher's stone, a legendary substance reputed to transmute base metals into gold and bestow immortality, incorporated Kabbalistic and Hermetic principles into their work. Ceremonial magic, with its complex rituals, was practiced by scholars of this age. They could communicate with spirits and harness their powers for a variety of purposes. These practices combined elements of Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and alchemy, evolving into new magical systems and practices. The Renaissance, with its renewed interest in ancient mystical traditions and the synthesis of Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and alchemy, signaled a spirit of discovery and wonder. It was a time when these mystic arts were pursued with same fervor as science and philosophy, marking a new epoch where magic assumed an intellectual and philosophical dimension. As we wander the halls of history, we now transition from this magical renaissance to our next chapter, the Age of Enlightenment. As Europe crossed the threshold into the Age of Enlightenment, the role of rational thought took on a critical importance. Nevertheless, this period, stretching from the late 17th century to the early 19th century, wasn't just a chapter of empirical conclusions. Among the renowned minds of the time, such as Isaac Newton and Voltaire, was a growing undercurrent of fascination for the enigmatic. The world was not just a logical puzzle to be deciphered through the lens of science and reason, but also a mystical landscape, shrouded in intrigue meanings. Paralleling the rise of logic was the persistence and adaptation of magical philosophical groups, concealed in the formation of secret societies. A striking example of this was the Freemasons, a guild shrouded in secrecy, their rituals steeped in ancient mystical traditions. Their existence is proof of humanity's unending fascination with the unexplainable. However, they were not the only ones harboring an interest in the arcane. Alchemists, astrologers, and Kabbalah practitioners were also active players, often masquerading as scientists. Some, like Emanuel Swedenborg and Franz Mesmer, even sought the mystical with the methodical, providing scientific explanations for supernatural phenomena. It is important to note the rise of Kabbalistic study groups during this period as significant contributors to the spread of esoteric knowledge. These groups aim to delve deeper into the mystical aspects of reality, focusing not just on theoretical Kabbalah, but also on its practical application in daily life, and their work emphasized the idea that the line between science and magic is not always clear-cut. Isaac Newton's life perfectly exemplifies this synergy of science and mysticism. Renowned for his scientific discoveries, he was also an avid student of alchemy and biblical prophecies. The Age of Enlightenment, therefore, was not solely about the triumph of logic over mysticism, but also underlines the adaptation and endurance of magical thought, well hidden within the folds of secret societies, Kabbalistic study groups, and esoteric practices. And now, as we close this chapter on the Age of Enlightenment, we're moving to our next chapter in history, the Victorian era. During the Victorian era, a period marked by rapid change and progress, the realm of the occult experienced a significant shift in interest. As we delve deep into this era, from 1837 to 1901, a fascinating dichotomy emerges. While the interest in general occult studies began to diminish in Europe, largely due to the political events and shifts of this epoch, the study of Kabbalah witnessed a dramatic surge. Kabbalah, an esoteric method and captivating school of thought originating from Judaism, embarked on an in-depth exploration of the complex science within mysticism. Large-scale study groups sprung across Europe, focusing on specific meditations, research, and esoteric ceremonies. This era bore witness to the evolution of practical Kabbalah into an advanced comprehension of the laws governing mystical phenomena. Kabbalist groups scattered around Europe were developing and documenting their newfound, sophisticated understanding of the mystical arts. Despite the challenges they faced due to their involvement in these tabooed mystical practices, they persevered in their pursuits. This period, therefore, presented a paradox. An era of progressive scientific and technological advancements juxtaposed with an intensified exploration of the mystical and the supernatural. This reflects the notion that these two contradictory concepts, science and spirituality, are actually intertwined, as they represent the same core desire: the understanding and control over the unknown and the forces of nature. Now, as we close this chapter of mysticism and paradox, we are transitioning to a closer time in our history, Europe after the Second World War. Let's now examine European magic in the modern age. In our contemporary times, the study and application of mystic arts have been reshaped dramatically. A notable transformation is the migration of Jewish communities and Kabbalah studies from Europe to Israel. In Israel, the study of practical Kabbalah left the shadows and received the recognition and support needed in order to evolve. Today, Israel is the epicenter of advanced practical Kabbalah studies, the most intricate form of esoteric study ever undertaken. Consequently, Europe has seen a decrease in traditional studies of Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and ancient Greek mysticism. In this modern age, Europe has lost its glory as a center for esoteric and mystical studies. The continent that was once the leading spearhead of esoteric studies has now become almost empty of serious spiritual schools. In the past 50 years, the Israeli practitioners of Kabbalah has presented to the world the significance of vibrational frequencies and sacred geometry, and the global pursuit of Kabbalah teachings continues to enrich our comprehension of seen and unseen aspects of existence. The present era is characterized by notable progress in mystical studies. Modern scholars of Kabbalah in Israel are now harnessing the power of cutting-edge technology and scientific methodologies to delve into the realms of the esoteric texts. The merger of artificial intelligence in mystical research is a pioneering development. By unraveling complex patterns in the Kabbalistic texts, using advanced algorithms and predictive models, these technologies are potentially setting the stage for a new era in our understanding and practice of mystic arts. As we voyage deeper into this digital age, these advancements foreshadow a future where magic and technology intertwine, giving us unmatched insights into the world of mysticism. As we stand on the brink of a new era, the future of magic and esoteric practices holds immense promise. The air is thick with excitement and anticipation among current-day esoteric practitioners. They believe that the advancements in technology and the merging of artificial intelligence with mystical studies will pave the way to a deeper understanding of the esoteric laws of consciousness. The hope for a future where the mind can expand its perception and abilities is not just a dream, but a distinct reality that is being shaped by the pioneers of modern mysticism. The vision of an age of oneness and magic, where the full potential of the human spiritual complex will be fulfilled, is a beacon of light guiding the efforts of these contemporary mystics. The advancements in technology are not perceived as a threat to the traditional practices of magic, but rather as tools that can potentially enhance our understanding of the mystical realm. The integration of technology with magic is seen as a harmonious fusion of the old and the new, offering the potential to revolutionize the way we perceive and interact with the world around us. As we step into this fascinating future, we carry with us the rich tapestry of our past. Each thread, woven from the wisdom of the ancient mystics, is a testament to the enduring allure of the mystical arts. As we stand on the cusp of a new era, we are ready to explore new realms of understanding and experience, forever guided by the wisdom of our ancestors and the promise of the future. Thank you for joining us in our journey throughout the history of magic in Europe. We invite you to follow us and explore other videos and articles about the esoteric arts and practical Kabbalah. May mystery and magic surround your life and fill you with miraculous wonder, and may the light of God will shine upon you and upon us all.